So you have this problem like me, like try to change the SQL password in if you're using like MAMP, which is Mac by the way. So let me just start this real quick and show you what I mean. So basically, if you try to change the root password, basically. So what happened is that if you go to PHP my admin, right, you can do it like through the terminal, whatever. Let's say you're in PHP my admin right now, and then you try to change the password and whatever. I believe you're supposed to go to like user account, and then you edit privileges, I think. Yeah, and then you go to change password right here. And then if you set to no password, I think by default you should be selected with no password unless you changed by yourself and you try to create a new password for it. This will, mess you up. So I will try to show you what I mean. So let's say if I type a new password right now, and then that will destroy my database. So basically, let's say if you change the password for this one, right? And then what you try to do next is that when you try to refresh it, it's gonna say access denied due to, like because it changed password. But what happened is that inside of the configuration file, if you go to Finder and then you must find, I think if you installed MAM, it should be in the applications folder. And then you navigate to the bottom until you see that MAM folder and then double click on it. And then you go to, I think it should be, oh, by the way, you should back up your I recommend you to back up your database before you proceed doing this thing. So depending on your version, I think 57 here means version 5.7, while 80 should be like version 8.0, something like that. So you should either back up like either one of them, so just in case if you mess something up. But and then to basically you want to change the configuration file. So what happened is that let's say I'm using PHP my admin 5, right? So what happened is that inside this configuration file, if I go to, let's say I'm gonna open this with text edit, um, as you can see here, this is my old password essentially, because what happened is that if you change the password through PHP my admin 5, right? If you change to it, it doesn't get changed in the configuration file. So what you have to do is that you have to manually change it, right? You have to manually change it and change to your own password that you just set it up, and then you should be good to go. And then you go ahead and refresh it again. You should be connected, and as you can see, it is working. But this is not done, okay? What you have to do next is that, like, because if you go to for instance, if you go to, sorry, where's my man, should be at the back here. Let me put it right here. Yep, if you go to tool and then check my SQL databases, and then check there, as you can see here, it says my SQL check got error 105 access denied, which is basically the same thing that showed up earlier in the PHP my admin. So basically, you just change the configuration file for the PHP my admin, but you did not change the configuration file for the for all the SQL's I think tools, I think. So what you have to do here is that, like, you go back, okay, go to bin. Basically, you have to go back to bin here, and then you have to find, essentially, find this one, and then it should be this one as well. Yeah, this one, and then anything that's has MySQL keyword in it, you're just gonna click on it, right? I think how many files I have? 6 files. So you have to go into these 6 files, and then you have to do like this, okay? Let me show you. So go to open it with text edit or whatever like text editor you want, and then as you can see right here, this should be your password. I think by default this thing should be either blank or root, unless you know your set it up used to set up a password before. But by default it should be either sorry, dash p like this, or root like I said. So, and then after you're done, save it, quit it, and then you go to here as well, check this one. If you go into preview right here, it should say your password right here. So anything that starts with dash p and then your password in it, go ahead and change it. It should be your old password. So open with text edit, save changes. Don't forget to save changes, okay? And then you should go to repair here and then save it, quit it, and then start MySQL-sh. I think it doesn't have anything, right? It doesn't have any passwords. I think this one you should be good to go. You don't have to mess around with this one. But I think stop MySQL here. I think it has password here. Should mess with this one. I think in total should be 5, not 6. Exclude the start MySQL, okay? So open it up with text edit, and then you see it right here, -p, and then you put your password in, and then save it, quit it, and lastly should be upgrade this one. Upgrade MySQL. Go to tools right here on the menu bar, right on the top. If you go to check MySQL databases, click on check, and then everything should be working as usual. So, yeah, I think at this stage, I think it should be done with everything. But what I recommend doing is that you should be install my SQL Workbench. Okay, you should be install this thing. It should be in the I think my SQL official website itself. So install it, and then this one should be your default connection. Okay, you don't want that since if you're using MAMP, I think the connection you should click on the plus here and then add a new connection. So the port should be 8889. Okay, this is what MAMP uses by default. I mean, you can change it in the settings you want, but I just like to leave it on default. So, and then the connection name, I'm gonna name it like MAMP 8889, and then it should be good to go. Just click on OK, and then type your password. And then, yeah, so what I recommend doing is that you go to user and privileges. And then what you need to do next is that you have to add an account, add a user. Okay, I'm gonna call this one I don't know, user, I guess. And then if you want password, it's fine. So I recommend using caching SHA-2 password here, and then type your password. But I'm not gonna have any password on it. So I'm just gonna click apply, save content. It just warn you that okay, this kind of password, whatever. I'm just gonna click on create. And then there you go, you have your new user right here. So what you want to do next is that you can mess around with the administrative role, whatever you want, but I'm not going to mess around with it. I'm just going to go straight into schema privileges. Remember, this one is not a root user. Okay, root user is too powerful. So I kind of suggest or recommend you create a new user account, and then you go to schema privileges right here and then add whatever schema you want to choose. So I'm gonna uncheck all schemas right here. I'm not gonna try to do it, and then the pattern, choose whatever schema you want. So I'm gonna say I want this account to access this particular schema only. And then after that you should I think select quote unquote all, and then click on apply. So I'm gonna add another entry as well just to make sure. Click OK. Same thing as this one. Go to at the bottom right here and then select quote unquote all, and then click on apply, and it should be good to go with your new user. And then you should be like repeat the same thing here. So once you've done this, so what I want you to do is that you go back to Finder and then go to your MAMP folder again, and then go to bin, and then you go to phpMyAdmin5 here, and then it should go to the configuration files as same as before. And here you should change your user here to the user that you just created, the account basically. And then I have no password, so I'm going to leave it blank for no password, and then save, quit. So, and after that I should refresh this. Line 40, I don't know what line 40 is. User login without password forbidden by allowed no password. Yeah, because when I first set out I set it only login with password, so that's why. So I'm gonna go back to login here, maybe set a password, I think, and then we're gonna click on apply, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use quote, single quote only, and then I'm gonna set my password. Yeah, and then saved, and then I should send again. Access denied. I don't know what's wrong with that. Yep, there we go. I think it should be good to go. So I logged in as user here, as you can see. So I did not log in with root. I only gave permission to only these two databases. So I think this should be saved. So by the way, I want to remind you that this is really important, okay? This, you can only add the user if you're on version 8.0, okay? If you're like using a version, I believe it should be 8 point either 2 or 3, I forgot. The password is, I mean, the account authentication should be deprecated, which means you could not do. There's some workaround it, which I'm not going to show you. I mean, you should Google it yourself. But using if you're using version 9, this thing should be removed. So which means you have no way to add any accounts to that. So yeah, just to keep in mind here. Anyway, that's it for now. I just want to make a quick video just to showcase some people actually having a hard day trying to configure this one, but you know, I think it's fine for all of us. Anyway, yeah, that's it for now, and I'll see you later, I guess. Bye.